You're watching News 12 on your side.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, first at 5.
Good evening. Thanksgiving is on the way, and so is the colder weather.
Oh, yeah, we're talking freeze watches and first alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. He's even mentioned temperatures in the 20s. Riley, this is going to feel different.
It really is. Definitely the coldest air we have seen so far this season. So these temperatures this afternoon, currently in the 60s, we are not going to get anywhere above 60 degrees through at least Thanksgiving morning. So take advantage of the slightly warm weather out there this afternoon. Inside the metro, most of us are still hanging in the mid to low 60s. These will quickly be dropping into the 50s and 40s through this evening. So don't let the sunshine fool you. It is going to be cold out there later this evening and tonight. Will eventually bottom out into the mid and low 30s by tomorrow morning. Now that's actual temperatures. When you factor in the wind chill tomorrow, it'll feel like the mid to upper 20s. But a very cold start for our Tuesday. Into Wednesday morning, we're actually expecting temps to be even colder. The National Weather Service has issued a freeze watch for early Wednesday for those cold temps. We'll have much more on that threat coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Riley, thank you. Booster shots for the COVID vaccine now recommended for everyone 18 and older. The CDC recently signed off on the booster expansion, recommending adults get the additional dose at least 6 months after their second shot.
Mary Green joins us now from the State Health Department in Columbia. Mary, hundreds of thousands of people in South Carolina have already received a third dose. Yes, Meredith Richard, DHEC reports that more than 400,000 people have already gotten their third dose here in South Carolina. And for the last month, more people have actually been boosting their protection that they've already established by getting this third dose than the number of people who are getting that protection in the first place.
You're still seeing a large proportion of people who didn't get their first dose are kind of holding out and don't plan to get it or don't want to get it or are hesitant to get it. Whereas the proportion of people who already got fully vaccinated, they have that trust and reliance. So I think you're seeing, that greater number, come out in the numbers.
In the last month, more third doses have been administered in South Carolina than first and second doses combined. This chart shows the number of first and second doses in blue and purple given in South Carolina over the last 4 weeks, and the number of third doses given in that time are in orange. DHEC says people getting boosters will help ease the pandemic, but the bigger goal is still to get more people vaccinated in the first place for the pandemic to end.
It's important for people that have been waiting and on the fence to go ahead and do it now and get their vaccine out with the winter months coming and people moving indoors and more people gather together and people are going to be traveling and getting together for the holidays.
And the number of people getting first doses of the vaccine in the last 2 weeks is actually the highest that number has been in about the last 2 months. DHEC says a big reason for that is about the time that increase in first doses started about 2 weeks ago was also about the same time that 5 to 11-year-olds became eligible to get the vaccine. Reporting live in Columbia, Mary Green on your side.
Mary, thanks for the update there. DHEC reports so far nearly 25,000 kids 5 to 11 have gotten their first dose of Pfizer's COVID vaccine.
Federal vaccine mandates are in effect today for federal workers. Now, this includes workers at SRS. 79 employees filed a lawsuit claiming the mandate is illegal and will force them to lose their source of income. They say they want the court to ban the company from firing people if they don't get the shot. Last month, some employees told News 12 they filed for a religious exemption, but were denied. We're told if employees are fully vaccinated by next Tuesday, they can return to work. Closing arguments in the trial of 3 men accused of killing Ahmad Aubry wrapping up today. The McMichaels and William Roddy Bryan pleaded not guilty, but the prosecution argued they were the aggressors who chased Aubry down when they saw him running through their neighborhood. Meanwhile, the defense says the 3 men suspected Aubry was behind some break-ins in their neighborhood, and they were carrying out a citizen's arrest.
Showing force necessary to prevent Travis himself or his father from getting beaten and possibly killed. And so he raises the gun. And he does it to defend himself, to protect himself.
The verdict will now be in the hands of the jury.
Just into our newsroom in the last couple of hours, we're learning the name of the man found dead in the cellar of a home in Jackson. The Aiken County Coroner's Office says 61-year-old Eldon Ledford was found dead last week after a neighbor smelled an odor coming from the home. The cause of death still under investigation. And to give you a live look right now, I-20 at the state line where construction work is really entering a new phase. Drivers heading into Georgia from South Carolina are now using that new middle lane to help head west. That means the Georgia Welcome Center is temporarily closed. So watch for that new traffic pattern westbound on Interstate 20, and just a busy time of year on the road to begin with. So heads up there. The Georgia DOT says they're going to be putting a pause on construction and lane closures on all state roads and interstates during the holidays. That will begin at 5 in the morning Wednesday. It ends at 10 p.m. on Sunday for the Thanksgiving holiday. They'll do the same for Christmas and again for New Year.
One person is dead following a car crash this morning on Windsor Spring Road in Augusta. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says Lisa Lewis was hit by a car around 11 or so this morning. Lewis was then taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead.
New photos of a man accused of crashing his vehicle into the Goodale Park in Grovetown and being involved in a hit-and-run accident before that. The Grovetown Police Department says James Smith has been charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree and interference with government property following the crash into the park. Late last night, deputies say he was involved with a hit-and-run while driving under the influence in Richmond County. Going to give you a look at the scene of that crash from yesterday. As you can see, there's been some significant damage to the park. Officials are even more disappointed to see this damage because they say they worked really hard to get this pavilion built at the park.
He has destroyed something that's not even a year old, and our residents really loved coming down here, and they're upset about it, and reasonably so.
So for now, that city says to avoid the pavilion and other areas where there are barriers up. They're not sure when these areas will be reopened, but we'll pass along any updates just as soon as they become available.
Flags are being lowered to half-staff in West King Street.
As we get closer to the holidays, we're taking a look at the vaccination rates for the area. In Georgia, 51% of people fully vaccinated now. In South Carolina, 49% of people have all the full vaccine. In Richmond County, 39% fully vaccinated. In Columbia County, 45% fully vaccinated. Cases are dropping in the two-state region. In Georgia, there are 440 new cases today. That's about 600 fewer cases than a month ago. In South Carolina, 476 new cases today, a drop from the end of September when the state had the second highest case rate in the nation. So cases dropping as we head into the holidays, but this Thanksgiving looks a little more normal now that we do have the vaccine.
Thankfully, experts now have some tips on how to have the safest Thanksgiving possible. More in today's Health Minute.
Of all the things for which you're thankful, another holiday in a COVID-19 pandemic probably isn't one of them.
This year is going to be the most highly variable Thanksgiving celebration that we've probably ever seen.
CDC guidance for a safe Thanksgiving is more relaxed than last year. For fully vaccinated families, getting together can be done safely. There's not enough time for kids ages 5 to 11 to become fully vaccinated by the holiday, but having a first dose of vaccine does provide a good deal of protection, says Ian Gonzenhauser with Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Many of those celebrations where the kids are getting vaccinated early, you can rest assured that the majority of adults are likely also vaccinated. So those are going to be very safe environments.
The concern lies with gatherings among people who are unvaccinated. For those who haven't rolled up their sleeves, the CDC says to wear a well-fitted mask indoors. If you're vaccinated but live in an area of high transmission or you're around someone with a weakened immune system, it's recommended you wear a mask as well. The agency says outdoor celebrations are safer and advises a delay in travel plans until you're fully vaccinated. If multiple households are getting together, another layer of protection is COVID-19 testing.
To make sure that that celebration can be safe and nobody takes home the wrong kind of memory or souvenir in a COVID infection.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And health experts say you might want to ask about vaccination status before that Thanksgiving gathering.
Holiday travel is in full swing. We are taking a look at some issues that people are facing at airports all across the country. Riley?
And by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be feeling like the mid and upper 20s. We'll take a look at how long this cold air sticks around next.
Well, here we are. The start of the holiday travel rush is underway with some weather concerns that could slow your trip back home.
And in Atlanta, a scare at the airport when a gun went off at a TSA checkpoint, creating some pretty chaotic moments in the terminal. Tom Costello has more.
In Atlanta this morning, the nation's busiest airport is back to normal after gunfire and panic on Saturday.
I don't know what's happening. Everybody's running.
Thousands of passengers running for cover. The FAA issuing a ground stop, temporarily pausing all aircraft operations on the ground. It happened at a TSA checkpoint at 1:30 p.m. when the TSA says an officer spotted a prohibited item in a passenger's carry-on bag and pulled it aside.
During that secondary search, the passenger lunged into his property, grabbing a firearm that was located inside, which ultimately discharged.
Police identified the suspect as 42-year-old Kenny Wells, a convicted felon who then fled through an airport exit with his gun. While no one was injured by the discharge, 3 people suffered minor injuries during the evacuation.
People just came flying through and just were like, run, run.
Atlanta leads the nation in TSA gun confiscations, a record 450 so far this year, more than one every day. Saturday's chaos coming at the start of what's expected to be a record pandemic travel period. More than 2 million airline passengers traveling each day over the Thanksgiving period.
It's one of our first trips since the COVID pandemic, so we're excited about it, but we're also a little nervous.
While wind and rain could slow operations today in the Northeast, 3 airlines are feeling the pressure to perform after suffering operational meltdowns in recent months. Spirit, Southwest, and American all say they're ready after streamlining their schedules and staffing up. Southwest even offered its crews frequent flyer points to work over the holidays. American has offered financial incentives to pilots and flight attendants, though American's pilots rejected the offer, insisting mismanagement and antiquated scheduling systems are to blame.
The history shows that every time weather hits, it's days after that we take to recover, and then we're in the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
It is a challenge. On a good day, I think it's a challenge getting everybody where they want to go on time.
But how nice is it to offer incentives for employees who are working the holidays? Shouldn't that be a thing anyway?
It's a good idea.
I would imagine more people would say, hey, I'll work the holiday.
And this week, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
But before you head out to the Augusta airport for the holiday travels, there are a few changes. A couple of new baggage carousels to allow for bigger bags, increased capacity, better reliability. There's also a new exit lane security system you'll go through when you arrive back here in Augusta. And they want to remind you to arrive at least 90 minutes ahead of your flight. And good luck. Happy traveling.
Hey, it beats Atlanta any day. You don't have to stand in that long a line here at Augusta. All right, as you head out the door to travel, we are taking a look at the price you'll pay at the gas pump. I know, it hurts, doesn't it? Right now, the state of Georgia is sitting at $3.23 a gallon. That is just a little lower than a week ago. Not much, though. In Augusta, it's sitting at $3.16 a gallon. That's an increase of $1.29 per gallon from a year ago. In South Carolina, they're seeing $3.10. That's a little lower last week, but let's be honest, all of our bills are much bigger at the pump and have been for quite some time.
A downward trend is a good thing,
Yes.
though. We'll take that any day as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Whether we're traveling or not, Riley, we got to gas up the car at some point.
Absolutely, and those temperatures will be going down hopefully as much as our gas prices continue to go down. But behind this cold front, we're going to find some of the coldest air of the season. Luckily, it does bring dry weather with it, plenty of sunshine the next few days, but with a little bit of a breeze late tonight into early Tuesday, we do have a lake wind advisory in effect for area lakes, so not safe to go out on the boat late tonight if you're planning on doing that, but these will be allowed to expire by tomorrow morning. But with just a little bit of wind, take a look at what our wind chills are expected to be early Tuesday morning, mid to upper 20s. You will need multiple layers out the door for the first part of your Tuesday, and then it's likely going to be a slow process of you shedding those layers. High temperatures tomorrow generally staying in the mid and low 50s. As we head into Wednesday morning, the wind chill's not going to be a huge factor, but our actual temperatures will be into the 20s and most likely mid 20s for a number of spots. So hard freeze conditions are anticipated heading into Wednesday. Now for tonight into early Tuesday, it looks like some spots may be able to get down to freezing, but with a little bit of wind overnight, tonight, it's going to prevent our temperatures from really bottoming out into the 20s for most spots. Could see an isolated area get down to the 20s, but looks like most of us will stay into the 30s tonight. The wind chill is what's going to feel like the 20s. Here's your Tuesday planner. Plenty of sunshine in store tomorrow. Those winds out of the north will keep that cool air in place. Not expected to be too breezy throughout the day tomorrow. But this is a look ahead to the coldest morning of the week. Wednesday morning, the National Weather Service has put out a widespread freeze watch for most of our central and eastern counties. This is in anticipation of low temperatures down in the mid and upper 20s. So these aren't wind chills. This is actual temperatures Wednesday morning. Definitely the coldest start we have seen so far this season. Make sure you're protecting your outdoor pets the next couple of nights. If you have any plants outside that are sensitive to these type of temperatures, bring those on inside as well. Now, we did put out a first alert for Wednesday morning, just a heads up for some of the coldest air we have seen in quite a while, and so you can just have a heads up to protect your pets. Now, you don't need to let your faucets drip unless you have unprotected outdoor plumbing. Most of our plumbing here in the southeast is insulated, so we don't really have to worry about letting our faucets drip until we see temperatures below 20. Luckily, we're not expecting that, but it is still going to be very cold the next couple of days. Temperatures will stay below 60 degrees through at least Thursday morning. Luckily, Thanksgiving plans during the day are looking a little bit warmer for us. High temperatures back near normal in the mid to upper 60s Thursday afternoon.
All right, thank you, Riley. Help will soon be on the way for people with hearing loss.
In Washington, I'm Jacqueline Paul-Castro.
And that's going to be a big relief for a lot of people who do rely on hearing aids.
And who have to schedule appointments, and then those appointments can be months away, or they have a slight problem with it. Yeah, it seems like something that's going to really streamline the whole process.
Easier is better. We like
Yes,
that.
it is.
Riley?
Well, we just hit sunset. It just creeped below the horizon, but those temperatures are going to be cooling off this evening, so grab the jacket if you're stepping out. Have a look at some frigid temperatures the next few mornings just after the break.
It's just...
Watch 1226 on your side, wherever you go.
All right, looking out the gateway to Grovetown, we just hit sunset, clear skies at the moment, and with clear skies through this evening and tonight, our temperatures will be dropping fairly quickly. We're at 61 at the moment, but we are expecting 50s and 40s through this evening, so if you are stepping out, definitely grab that jacket. By tomorrow morning, temps will be now near freezing for most locations. Wednesday morning is going to be the coldest start for us. That is when we have a first alert in effect for low temperatures as low as the mid-20s. Definitely the coldest air we have seen so far this season. So make sure your pets are protected the next couple of nights. Those temps will be very chilly for them. And overall, just looking at plenty of sunshine all the way through our Thanksgiving Thursday. By Thursday, we do look a little bit warmer with high temps back closer to 70, but we do cool down again for the weekend. Temps back down into the 30s each morning, Saturday and Sunday.
Closing arguments today for the trial of the 3-foot-tall tree just off Gervais Street, right there in front of the State House. It features 900 ornaments and 13,000 lights, so just a spectacular sight there, right in the heart of Columbia.
Sorry, y'all. I'm just coughing incessantly. It's driving everyone crazy. Excuse me. Target is deciding to keep their stores closed on Thanksgiving for good. To limit crowds in stores, every place seemed to be closed last year, but now, hey, they're turning Black Friday shopping into an extended event. Some retailers started discounts as early as October. Target is the first major retailer to make such a permanent move during the pandemic, and this decision could push other retailers to follow its path, but that remains to be seen. Riley.
Well, looking ahead to our Thanksgiving, we are expecting temperatures to finally warm up a little bit. Have another look at it.